Have you ever wondered if the brain could reveal extraordinary abilities in the most unexpected ways? A man woke up speaking fluently a language he had only learned a week earlier after a car accident. However, it took him 2 more days to speak his native tongue again. The following 20 stories showcase the extraordinary abilities of ordinary people. Let's dive in. When Ben McMahon was 22, he woke from a coma more than a week after a serious car accident. To his family's astonishment, he could only speak Mandarin Chinese. On waking, he addressed a nurse in fluent Mandarin and later wrote, "I love my mom, I love my dad, I will recover."
After waking up from the coma, I saw a Chinese-looking nurse. And because the first person I spoke to was in Mandarin, my internal monologue became Chinese.
His parents realized he could no longer communicate in English, his native language. Doctors were intrigued. Ben had studied Mandarin in Melbourne but was far from fluent. Yet after the accident, he spoke it with ease. A few days later, his English slowly returned. The experience transformed his life. He later moved to Shanghai to study commerce and was invited to host a Chinese television program. Experts explained his case as a rare phenomenon in which brain trauma activates dormant language pathways while suppressing others. His story drew international attention as it highlighted the brain's remarkable ability to adapt and reorganize after injury. In September 2002, Jason Padgett was leaving a karaoke bar in Tacoma, Washington, when 2 men attacked him for his leather jacket. Jason was treated in the emergency room and sent home the same night. But the next morning, he noticed something unusual. Water from his faucet appeared as geometric patterns, and his hands seemed to move in slow motion. The head trauma had triggered a remarkable transformation. Jason developed the ability to visualize and draw complex fractals by hand, repeating geometric patterns that form the basis of many structures in nature and mathematics. He saw mathematical forms everywhere. Light reflecting off his car appeared as arcs linked to pi, and tree leaves seemed arranged by hidden theorems. Before the attack, Jason was a furniture salesman and community college dropout with little interest in academics. Afterward, he was recognized as a mathematical savant. His rare condition, acquired savant syndrome, affects fewer than 100 people worldwide. Stanley Robinson claimed he could see the future in his dreams. It began when he dreamed about 2 planes colliding mid-air, and the next day, a similar disaster occurred. From then on, he reported nightly premonitions, keeping a detailed dream journal. In one experiment, Stanley Robinson was asked to dream about 10 secret locations before visiting them, and he reportedly identified all of them correctly. His experiences began during a stressful period when he worked as an air traffic controller, a job demanding constant focus on aircraft movements. Researchers have suggested that his brain may have been processing subtle environmental cues overlooked by his conscious mind, later weaving them into predictive dreams. Skeptics argue that confirmation bias and selective memory explain his apparent successes, but the reported experiments have left some questions open. In 1986, at the age of 30, Ken Walters was working as an engineer when an out-of-control forklift crushed him against a wall. The accident led to 2 strokes. The second stroke, in 2005, took his life in a surprising direction. While recovering in the hospital, Ken began filling his notepad with drawings and sketches, despite having shown no previous interest in art. Doctors explained that in rare cases, a stroke can rewire the brain and uncover hidden abilities. They warned the change might be temporary, but Ken proved otherwise. After returning home, he embraced digital tools and began producing striking computer-generated artwork. His pieces drew attention and have since been displayed in office buildings, art galleries, and even virtual spaces. Few people can withstand cold like Wim Hof, the Dutchman known as the Iceman. He developed a special breathing and meditation method that enables him to endure extreme cold conditions. Among his feats, he ran a full marathon north of the Arctic Circle at -20°C wearing only shorts, climbed Mount Kilimanjaro in similar attire, and sat in a container filled with ice cubes for nearly 2 hours without harm. Hof has set more than 20 Guinness World Records related to cold exposure. His method combines controlled breathing, gradual cold exposure, and meditation. The breathing involves about 30 deep breaths, exhaling fully and holding, then inhaling deeply and holding again briefly. Repeating this cycle appears to influence the autonomic nervous system in ways once thought impossible. Scientific studies have shown that Hof can consciously affect his immune response and regulate his body temperature. His method has been successfully taught to others, suggesting these abilities are not unique to him but can be developed through training. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any future episodes. Don't forget to share it with your friends too. It helps the channel out, and I'm excited to continue bringing you more awesome content. Daniel Browning Smith, known as the Rubber Boy, holds multiple Guinness World Records for his extraordinary flexibility. He can twist his body into shapes that seem more cartoon than human, thanks to an extremely rare form of hypermobility. He has folded himself into boxes, squeezed through impossibly tight spaces, and even made appearances in Hollywood films and television shows. His flexibility is linked to unusually elastic connective tissues, though not officially diagnosed as Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. While hypermobility can cause health issues, Daniel has turned it into a remarkable performance art. He can dislocate his joints at will and contort into positions most people would find impossible. Among his most famous feats are fitting his entire body through an unstrung tennis racket, rotating his torso in seemingly impossible ways, and bending backwards until his head touches his feet. Despite his success, Daniel must remain cautious as his extreme flexibility also puts him at risk of joint dislocations and tissue strain. When Derek Amato was 39, he struck his head on the shallow end of a swimming pool while diving for a football, suffering a severe concussion. He was briefly unconscious and later hospitalized, left with memory loss, partial hearing loss, and chronic headaches. Not long after, while visiting a friend, Derek sat at an electronic keyboard despite never having played before. Instantly, intricate melodies poured from his hands, astonishing those around him. From that day forward, music became central to his life. He went on to compose and perform professionally, releasing recordings without ever taking lessons. Neurologists believe his brain injury may have reorganized or activated dormant pathways linked to musical ability, a phenomenon called acquired savant syndrome. Derek describes experiencing music as flowing black and white patterns, suggesting his brain translates sound into vivid imagery. A few years ago, Scott Mele was in a car crash when another vehicle struck his at nearly 112 km/h. The accident left him with a brain injury, but also unlocked a hidden talent. In the difficult months that followed, he felt detached from his own life. Then, during a trip to a craft store with his children, he suddenly felt compelled to paint. Despite having no prior interest in art, his first work showed striking skill. Scott was later diagnosed with atypical acquired savant syndrome, a rare condition where brain trauma triggers extraordinary abilities. He often says his life restarted at age 38. Now based in Wilmington, he has built a career as an artist, creating paintings noted for their depth, color, and emotional impact. One piece depicts a girl trapped underwater, reflecting his past struggles, though he himself no longer feels confined. Researchers have found increased brain activity in areas tied to creativity, and his art demonstrates a mastery usually developed over years of training. What's the most surprising talent or skill you discovered in yourself, or someone you know after a major life change? Let us know in the comments below. Daniel Tammet's life is remarkable. As a child, he suffered epileptic seizures that altered his brain development. Later diagnosed with high-functioning autism and savant syndrome, he became known for his extraordinary memory, mathematical talent, and gift for languages. He once demonstrated the ability to learn conversational Icelandic in a single week for a TV challenge, and he set a European record by reciting pi to 22,514 digits. Tammet also experiences synesthesia, perceiving numbers as shapes, colors, textures, or motions. Every number up to 10,000 has a unique identity for him. 117 appears as a beautiful shape, while 9 feels large and overwhelming. When solving problems, he doesn't calculate step by step, but instead sees visual patterns that reveal answers. This unusual perception helps him both with math and rapid language learning. He describes 37 as lumpy like porridge and 89 as falling snow. His abilities continue to fascinate scientists and highlight the brain's untapped potential. Bob Munden, often called the fastest gun who ever lived, redefined speed and accuracy with a firearm. He died in 2012, but his feats remain legendary. Using a single-action revolver, he could draw, fire, and hit a target in about 0.02 seconds, faster than the blink of an eye. His accuracy was equally astonishing, splitting playing cards edge-on, hitting aspirin tablets in mid-air, and outdrawing opponents before they could react. Over his career, he set multiple world records in fast-draw shooting, several recognized by Guinness World Records. Munden's skill came from decades of relentless practice and a near-scientific study of biomechanics. Every element of his draw, from holster angle to muscle movement, was refined for maximum efficiency. His hands moved so quickly that only high-speed cameras could capture the motion. What truly set him apart was consistency. He could perform these lightning-fast draws with flawless precision thousands of times, relying on muscle memory, so sharp his body acted before his mind registered the command. Nikolai Kryaglyachenko, a schoolboy from Russia, claimed to have developed strange powers after leaning against a faulty lamp post and receiving an electric shock. The next day, he noticed coins sticking to his body, and soon spoons, cutlery, and other objects clung to his chest as if he were magnetic. A fan of Marvel's Magneto, Nikolai joked about becoming a superhero, and his unusual ability quickly made him popular at school. Scientists, however, doubt the claim. Dr. Amato, a biotechnology specialist, noted that electricity cannot magnetize the human body. Experts suggest the phenomenon is more likely due to skin friction, moisture, or natural stickiness rather than real magnetism. Some individuals can press objects to their skin in ways that make them appear to cling. The electrical shock may have simply heightened Nikolai's awareness of this natural trait. Kevin Richardson, known as the Lion Whisperer, is famous for his unique bond with lions and other big cats. Born in Johannesburg, South Africa, he discovered his calling at 23 while caring for lion cubs, an experience that reignited his passion for wildlife. Today, he runs the Kevin Richardson Wildlife Sanctuary near Pretoria, dedicated to protecting Africa's predators and supporting conservation research. Unlike traditional trainers, Richardson avoids dominance-based methods. Instead, he studies each animal's personality, social structure, and communication signals, building trust through respect and consistency. His hands-on approach has offered valuable insights into lion behavior and helped shape strategies for protecting wild populations. Through his work, Richardson shows that the relationship between humans and animals can be built on empathy and understanding rather than control. Shi Liliang, a Shaolin monk from Quanzhou, China, became famous for his extraordinary water walk. In 2015, he set a record by running 118 meters across floating plywood planks before they sank. The challenge required him to move with such speed, balance, and precision that each step landed on a board before it fully submerged. His ability is the result of years of Shaolin training that combines agility drills, balance practice on unstable surfaces, and intense mental focus. The technique demands perfect weight distribution and split-second timing, turning what seems impossible into a display of discipline and control. For Shaolin monks, such demonstrations are not simply stunts but proof of the mind-body coordination achieved through decades of practice. Shi Liliang's achievement highlights the blend of physical mastery and mental concentration that defines the Shaolin tradition. Do you think feats like Shi Liliang's water walk are more about physical training or mental discipline? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and follow the channel to discover more interesting things. Jingyu, a prodigy from China, stunned the world at 13 by juggling and solving 3 Rubik's Cubes in under 5 minutes, a Guinness World Record set in 2018. A dedicated cuber since age 6, he has since performed other astonishing feats, including solving cubes while hanging upside down and even completing 3 simultaneously using both his hands and feet. Key's talent combines advanced spatial reasoning, pattern recognition, muscle memory, and extraordinary hand-eye coordination. To juggle and solve at once, his brain processes several streams of information while his hands execute perfectly timed movements. His training involved years of daily practice, gradually layering new challenges until the skills merge seamlessly. Flo and Kay Lyman, known as the Rain Man twins, are the world's only female autistic savant twins. Born in Connecticut, they share extraordinary memory skills that allow them to instantly name the day of the week for any date, past or future. They also recall vivid details of their lives, from meals and clothing to TV shows, songs, and weather. Their synchronized answers, often spoken in unison, highlight their unique neurological connection. Growing up in the 1960s, autism was little understood, and the sisters often struggled to fit in. With support from their younger sister Jane, they later found a more open and supportive environment that allowed their talents to be recognized. Their gifts have been documented in scientific studies and featured in media, including the film The Rain Man Twins. Today, Flo and Kay stand as remarkable examples of savant memory and pattern recognition, particularly in calendar calculation. In 1860, photographer Eadweard Muybridge was badly injured in a stagecoach accident in Texas, suffering a head trauma that altered his personality. Once sociable and cautious, he became eccentric, impulsive, and intensely creative. After a period of recovery in England, he returned to the US and built a career in photography. His greatest breakthrough came in the 1870s when California tycoon Leland Stanford asked him to settle a debate. Do all four of a horse's hooves leave the ground while galloping? Muybridge devised a system of cameras triggered in sequence, capturing the horse in motion. In 1878, his images proved Stanford right. There is a moment when all hooves are airborne. At 39, Justine Mitchell developed an extraordinary but debilitating condition. She could hear the movement of her own eyes, her heartbeat pounding, and everyday sounds at unbearable volume. The diagnosis was superior canal dehiscence syndrome, a rare disorder where a tiny hole in the inner ear causes extreme sound sensitivity and amplifies internal body noises. Simple activities became agonizing until doctors offered surgery. In the procedure, her ear canal was reinforced with tissue to block the abnormal sound transmission. After recovery, Justine regained a normal sense of hearing and relief from the overwhelming noise. Tim Friede is known for training his body to adapt to challenges that few would dare face. Over the years, he has worked closely with some of the world's most dangerous snakes, cobras, vipers, and mambas, allowing his immune system to gradually adjust through repeated exposure. His unusual practice, called Mithridatism, is an ancient idea of slowly building tolerance by introducing very small amounts of a substance over time. Tim's journey began after learning how serious snake encounters can be in places where medical treatment is limited. His determination to help inspired scientists to examine his blood, which shows unique antibody responses that may one day contribute to new therapies. Although his path is unconventional and carries great personal risk, his efforts have sparked interest in how the human body can adapt in extraordinary ways. Some people use lighters or even their teeth to open bottles, but one performer has taken this to another level by using parts of her body as the opener itself. Her unusual technique has drawn crowds and online attention, with audiences impressed by her control and precision, even if not everyone would choose to drink from a bottle open that way. Her ability highlights how adaptable and inventive the human body can be. By practicing unconventional movements, she has trained herself to accomplish a task most would consider impossible or unwise. Though her method is unconventional, it reflects the same spirit of creativity and physical problem-solving that drives many human feats, but from survival skills to record-setting stunts. In Thailand, some street food vendors have become known for being able to deep-fry food with their hands, claiming that while the oil feels hot, it does not burn or blister their skin. One such man, often nicknamed Superhands. Stories say he first realized this unusual ability while working at a food stall, when hot oil splashed onto his skin but left no burns. Word spread quickly, and he became a local sensation for his daring technique. Medical experts suggest that years of heat exposure may have built up unusually thick, callous skin. His rapid, confident movements also reduce contact time with the oil, further lowering the risk of burns. Some researchers believe that individual differences in pain sensitivity or skin composition could also play a role. What we've just witnessed challenges everything we thought we knew about human limitations. The common thread connecting all these individuals isn't their initial talents or training. Instead, it's how their brains and bodies adapted to extreme circumstances, trauma, or simply discovered hidden capabilities that were always there, waiting to be unlocked. These stories raise fascinating questions about the nature of human potential. Which of these abilities surprised you the most? Have you ever experienced a moment where you discovered a hidden talent or capability you didn't know you possessed? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed today's video, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot to us. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.